Not sure if you guys are hearing anything because I'm trying something out here, a soundboard. But yeah, um, it's been a long time since I've interviewed someone in the or at least in the music side of the industry. And yeah, I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of Beyond the Lights and Stars, which another segment that I did. I think I already have three segments running. It's a bit of a farce, but right now I do have a very special guest, and we are going to discuss a lot more regarding her music and also her experiences. So I'd like to welcome from Malaysia, Vienna. How are you doing today?
Hi, Jam. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm doing
nice.
good.
Yeah, nice to hear from you. And yeah, before we begin, how's life going on for you these past year?
This past year has been a good. I would say it's great, but also it's been a roller coaster ride with lockdown and pandemic. It's either you stay at home or you stay at home.
Yeah, that seems to be the case worldwide, or at least a lot of parts of the world still locked down, even at this point, even here in Manila.
Mhm.
But that shouldn't be a something to restrict us when it comes to the art of music or even um, poetry or anything else that we're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, again, this is Venia, and she's a very successful singer. So let's go ahead and do the introductions. My name is Jay. I'm also from Zero Hour Discussions, and Venia, for our guests here, I think there will be new viewers probably on my end. Can you tell
Mhm.
us more about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Veenea. I'm a singer-songwriter. I am from Malaysia, and I have been, I think, singing for a long time. I really, I'm not sure what should I say. uh, what?
Well, it's up to you. I'm sorry. I coughed there. Oh yeah, it's really up to you. So, you've been a songwriter, or at least you've been practicing or started in music around, my correct, 4 or 5 years old. Am I right?
Yes, I've been singing for a long time. I think I had
Mm.
lessons, proper lessons since 4 to 5. But my mom would like to tell me. She would always tell me, Vina, you started singing when you were 2 months old. I'd be like, ooh, yeah.
So I think you'd be classified under the prodigy side of artistry.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I would say
Yeah.
I started young.
But yeah, what is the intent that you have when you started singing? Is it something that you really love, or was it ingrained within your family that some side, at least a side of your family, does sing or is it inclined in music?
I would say it's a combination of both because I grew up in a musical family. My mom is a great singer. She would sing lullabies, humming for me as a child, and she used to tell me that I wouldn't go to bed. I couldn't go to bed until she hums. And my
Hmm.
dad is an avid music lover. He has a range of CDs at home, and he plays it around the house. It's it's really fun because I feel like that's how we spend time together as a family. And while my dad plays music and my mom sings, I feel like it inspired me to kind of join along this this fun atmosphere, and that made me like music a lot more, especially with my brother, since we both became inclined to it due with our family as well.
You also play other instruments besides singing, right? I think you also play the piano.
I play the piano, I play the guitar, and for fun I play the ukulele.
Oh, interesting. Because I also played, was trained in playing piano around
Mhm.
close to the age when you started singing,
I see.
and I stopped because back
Ooh.
then I was bored out with it. This was a time when you don't have that like how to say, your decision making in life wasn't still that sharp. So
Yeah.
if people want something to do for you, or to study, you do something, and you have
Hmm.
to accept that you love it like the time. So before I didn't really enjoy playing the piano, but right now I'm actually regretting that, because I want to be a piano player or a keyboard player, just because of me being in a band, and I want to create my own music, which I can't write my own music, which I can't. So it's such a shame, but I think we make do with whatever we have, since I'm also a drummer. So yeah,
I mean, it's not
and
too late to start now.
no,
It's
it's
never
not
too
too
late to
late.
say.
Yeah, it's never too late to start, but the problem is, I think it's time and also the responsibilities when you're growing up.
Very true. It's a lot about priorities. How much can you prioritize playing?
Yeah, since we're already touching to that topic, were you also trained classically, or do you have any professional training going to your current career right now as a singer?
My foundation was in classical music.
Hmm.
I was trained, my vocals were trained classically, but that was more of interest for at first. And growing up, for me, music has always been a very big aspect of my life. So would take classes and I would really sing because of my passion for
Hmm.
music. And though I was very playful, I would still try and make time just to sing because it always makes me feel very happy.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be lasting that long with your hobby if you're really not happy on doing it in the first place, making it a
Definitely.
career, and also the track record that I've seen, the
Hmm.
amount of success so far that you've been doing. I think it really shows how much you've invested in your hobby with love towards it. So I
Thank
could
you.
see, yeah, I could see people, or at least artists, that could sing very well.
Hmm.
They get that short burst, and then they just either lose interest, or they lose inspiration, motivation forward. Because quite frankly, people, being in the music side of things or in the industry, it really
Hmm.
takes a lot out of your time, and also a lot out of you. It's not that easy to create songs, right? Especially writing lyrics like what Vienna
Definitely.
does. But yeah, but let's go ahead and see who's on the chat first. So we have Charlene here, sending some love. You got fans, Pandaboo. Yeah, Confessions of Freedom, same person. Also, yeah, you do have some following right now, and
Hmm.
smart. And someone's so Pandaboo's from Australia. So,
Hi, Panda Boo. Oops,
mhm.
sorry.
Ooh, right, it's nice to hear. And yeah, what are your influences basically, Linnea? Can you give us a rough layout of who inspired you to sing, and also your formative time as a singer? Who do you look up to right now, and what kind of template are you looking for in success?
I would say my first musical influence that really inspired me to sing is my mom. She's number one in my life. She's my first
Yeah.
music teacher before going to classes and the first person that inspired me to want to sing. When it comes to musical influences in my art and really as an artist myself, it really varies. There's so many amazing artists who have come a long way, but my utmost favorite would be Alicia Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Keys is one of my favorites. I also look up to Stevie Wonder in the way that he writes his songs. It's always for me. It's always very uplifting, and it's such a simple concept, but it adds so much depth. And Alicia Keys, I love the voice that she puts in her songs, the truth that she puts in her songs. I always felt that the way that she expresses herself is always through her discography.
Mm-hmm.
And as a 5 year old, I was first introduced to Alicia Keys as a 5 year old because my dad would play songs in A minor, and her melody lines for Fallen were amazing, were mind blowing to me as a kid. And I would try to copy that. And my dad would praise me for it. He's like, yo, you can sing just like Alicia Keys. And I'm like, really? That's great.
I think it also helps out that you have a family very supportive of what you're doing,
Oh,
because positive
definitely.
reinforcement from people surrounding you is one of the most powerful things that we could have in life. Imagine going through this alone, so you have to go
Mm.
through other people, asking for opinion from other people. Not saying it's wrong, but wouldn't it be much better to have a solid foundation within the family which supports you all the way?
I'm very thankful for my parents and my family and my loved ones to support me and my vision and singing. I it gives me so much motivation and encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing, especially with how big my support has grown. It really did start with the family, and it's growing. It keeps growing, and I'm so thankful that
Mm,
I have this to keep going as a singer.
yeah, definitely. Because uh, I have some other friends that are also from the ground out up, because family members don't support what they're doing. It seems to be a waste of time for some people, but in
Hmm.
the end, it's really also a battle of how much accomplishments you'd like to have in life. If you really want to have that sort of fulfillment on your journey.
Definitely.
So I think being inspired is one of also one all sorry one of the most important things that people should consider in being inspired on their own hobbies. So let's go ahead and ask for. I just like to also dive into the first song, because listen to this 3 times already in Confessions of Freedom.
Hmm.
How did this came to be for you, and what does the song mean for you when you were writing it?
Confessions of Freedom is one of is the first single that I released, and it has such a big impact in my life because Confessions of Freedom is about a journey to self discovery. You know, our journey never ends from the moment we're
Right?
born. We just keep going. We keep finding things. We keep learning. There are days when you're happy. There are days that you learn, and it's a song that I wrote inspired by my mom's journey actually because after I finished high school, I was looking at my pathways to further my education.
Okay.
I was really at a crossroad and I didn't know whether at that time I whether I wanted to pursue my studies because at that time I finished um, Canadian Pre-U, which was kind of like your final year of high school, and I prepared it learning engineering courses. And I didn't know whether I wanted to do that and finish my degree or go into music. And it felt that at that time, as a teenager, your decisions start to weigh on which path you want to take or which road you want to go. It just feels like it's one straight road. This is how you go for it. And talking about it with my mom, and she was telling me sometimes life is not a straight road. Sometimes you could go down a path and all these, let's say, all these unexpected events will occur, and you just need to find your way through it. And listening to her speak and some of the words that she said really resonated with me. So I had a pencil and a pen with me, and I was just writing down what she was saying. And when she was done, and just few more minutes of me recollecting my thoughts and her thoughts, I went to the piano. I was like, Mom, I think I made something. And she loved it, and we were thinking this is something that would be amazing to share. And that's how Confessions of Freedom came about.
When did you write this piece? You remember?
I wrote it in 2016, 2015, 2016. So that was I was around 17 or 18 years old.
Ooh, nice. Oh yeah. I think there's nothing much more to ask for because you already explained how the song came to be, and I really enjoyed that in a lyrical perspective. Yeah, as you mentioned a while ago, that it's a never-ending process when you actually get born here, moving forward, you get to learn a lot more.
Yes.
So,
And what I like about the song that I put in the message, I think one of the message I really liked is that even though you're sad and even though you feel this shackle of doubt,
mm,
you if you have confidence, if you start with having confidence in yourself and believing that what you do has power, you will find yourself free. Or that's what I came to the conclusion going with the song.
no, I
And
totally agree. Also,
mhm,
I totally agree. Because no one's gonna help you more than you help yourself, basically.
very true.
And, and if you don't have the confidence to put yourself out there, just like what you did, and also say, for example, let's give a big namer here. Let's say Celine Dion. If she
Mhm.
didn't even put herself out there, advertise her music and everything, she'll still be Celine Dion, but probably not as famous and also as well accomplished as she is today. And yep, so that's good. And I do also see here, or at least before when I'm looking at your bio, that you also participated in the World Championship of Performing Arts in the US of A,
Yes,
Long
I
Beach. I
did.
think it's in Florida, right?
No, 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 I was
Or
in California.
California. Sorry, yeah,
Hmm.
California. So you bagged around 10 medals on this tourney. What
Yes, I
happened
did.
there? What happened there? Basically, what kind of competition was this for you to actually get those number of medals after?
Uh, World Championships of Performing Arts is, I want to say, the whole experience was life changing. It taught me a lot of lessons and gave me one of the best experience I could ever have, an international platform to showcase my talent. What the World Championships of Performing Arts is it's a talent Olympics. So around 60 countries participate every year in Long Beach, California, but I think they moved to Anaheim for next year to compete in many different types of musical art. I think they have singing, dancing, they have performances that are other categories like what is it called? Acting, modeling. I think you can even contend for uh, like magic tricks as a sense. It's very much working,
Basically for
appreciating the arts.
performing arts in
Yes, for
general.
performing arts. That's the word. And the whole process of Wakopo was very interesting because you learn a lot about how you have a sneak peek of how an international competition feels like. That's one. And two, a bit of the industry in the US because their boot camps give you a few tricks and tips on how to move forward in your career, how to work on yourself. And before preparing for the competition, it was very tough because for myself, I finished my high school and I wasn't consistent in practicing on my vocals. I wasn't also very, I wasn't physically fit because I had to finish a lot of schoolwork. So it was really tough trying to train myself for about 8 months for this competition. And each performance for a person, for an individual, is 1 minute. So it takes a lot. I think 1 minute is pretty short, but at that time, it really felt like a lot because you have to show your best talents within a minute. I joined about eight categories,
Hmm.
and that's how I got most of my medals, because through my 8 categories I got 4 bronze, 1 silver, and 3 gold.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
And the best part with the way that they judge is that you have three rounds in Wacopa, but the preliminary rounds are the stages, are the performances that determines who gets silver, gold, or bronze. It just starts immediately in the preliminaries. Once you reach the semifinals and the finals, that's when you want to contend for the overall championship award, where you have the title of best vocalist of the world, best dancer of the world, and that takes a lot of rounds as well. So I managed to get to the finals as in the category of singing, and it was really really tense because after semifinals they had this nice party to issue the finals, and vocalists were the last category, and my name was the last name that was set out. So it was really it was a lot of tension for me, but I'm really happy I made it to the finals. I was a finalist and stayed as a finalist that night, but that whole experience, the practice, the performances, other than performing for the semifinals and finals, the preliminaries were really hard, were really challenging. I wouldn't say hard. They were very challenging because you I had 8 categories and 5 were on the same day. So with those 5 categories, the slots were very very close together. So one category and another category, I think I had a 2-minute difference. And
Mm.
for each category, you had to keep changing your costumes. So as a performer, I would have to it would be better for me to wear heels. So most of the time, I'm very thankful with the volunteers who were working with the staff,
Yeah,
the
assistance.
Wacopa
Yeah.
staff that were working with me, because I said I have another category in 2 minutes. Can you help me stall? So they helped me prepare my mic, and I had to run in heels to the other side of the room, which is the changing room, change, and then come back. It was really really fun now, but at that time,
It
I
wasn't.
just was
Yeah, I'm
I was
guessing
just
it
trying to
wasn't
make
that.
it in
Be-
time.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong. What I heard, you only have a minute, all
Hmm.
right, to
Yeah.
showcase your talent in that one. So, how does this include also your prep time as well? No, or is it
No.
just
No.
when you hit the stage, the minute starts? Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
still, it's that's a lot of hard work and also anticipation on what you need to do, especially around 60 countries. And how many do you remember? How many participants besides yourself?
Oh, there were a lot. I think
In the
there could be
hundreds?
easily in the hundreds. There were just so many people that you just had to kind of maneuver around. It was a really fun time.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see a lot of people though. I think because of COVID, you can't really meet a lot of people, so it kind of takes me back sometimes, thinking of how so many people would like gather in one place.
Yeah, it's not possible to do right now. It's the same with me going to conventions because I'm used to going out a lot, talking to people, hanging out with friends. Now we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cons on that one, but also some pros because you get to concentrate on yourself. And I know you're one of the biggest advocate of for self learning and also self improvement based on your experience. And I just like to ask also, did you also audition on other mainstream competitions like America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent as well, or
It
tried?
has been on my mind,
You
and
haven't tried
I
yet.
was interested in doing it, but I think when I wanted to try, the pandemic hit, so it wasn't easy. I didn't have the chance to, but I did wanted to try it once, but I have not been able to. I haven't had the experience yet
Or maybe
to
The
go on
Voice in the
mainstream.
future.
Maybe.
maybe. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot of experience coming from a 23-year-old.
Is it? Oh,
Because
thank you.
yeah, because a typical 23-year-old would just sit down in the corner, say you just work after work, play some games, talk to people, hang out. But you presented yourself out there and capitalized on your talent and also pursued whatever you wanted to pursue. That takes a lot of courage because so you, especially in involving yourself in competitions and the I think the highest form of rejection, or at least anticipation for rejection, is in competitions, especially international. And so a lot of people get demoralized, especially if they don't qualify in the preliminary stage. Sorry, can't talk right now. Can't speak properly. But anyway, so yeah, that's Confessions of Freedom and also experiences in the WCOPA. So looking forward for more competitions when the pandemic, or at least our current predicament ends. And we'd just like to welcome again all the people hanging out on YouTube right now. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, I'm talking and having conversation here, interviewing Veenea, who is a um, a vocalist, singer, and also a songwriter. So we're going to play another tune from her, and this is entitled "Smile." Go ahead and enjoy this one, people, and we will also be discussing this song again in a few.
You tweeted, please help me, but you need to ask. You want to run away, why you acting so fast? You said you're alone, so who in the world am I? What's wrong with liking things in the past? 'Cause I don't like to see that look on you. Honey, can't you see? Please look at me and smile for me, baby. That's what you need to do. Just smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile, yeah. Do I need to run 1,000 miles and trip at the end to make you crack a smile? I need to know how to light up your day and make sure you're doing okay. 'Cause I don't like to see that look on you. Honey, can't you see what it means to me when you smile for me, baby? That's what you need to do. Just smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile, yeah. Don't push yourself away, I'm right here. Those things in your head are not real. Life is simple, take it easy. So look at me, honey, look at me and smile for me, baby. That's what you need to do. Smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile, baby. Oh, you're beautiful when you smile. So smile.
So that smile, I think that's your second original, am I right?
Yes, that is my
Chrono-
second single that I released.
yeah, chronologically. And let's go ahead
Mhm.
and talk about that very inspiring song, or at least how did you write this song? Obviously, it does have a very happy tone to it and also a very uplifting tone to it. But what was the process when you were making the song?
Smile, the song that I wrote, is a song about reaching out to a person who's feeling a bit sad. That's the overall premise of it. I wrote that because I had some loved ones that I cared about,
Mm.
and they were releasing a lot of a lot of their emotions on social media, a lot of their worries. And I wanted to give a message that if you need someone to talk to or comfort, I'll be here. Or if I'm not here physically, it's in this song. That's my whole inspiration to writing Smile. And when I wrote the lyrics for Smile, I wanted them to say I wanted to let the listener know that there will always be someone for you, and you're the most beautiful when you smile. But even sometimes when you smile, it doesn't need to show that you're happy. Sometimes it's just a way for me to ask you to release your emotions. Because sometimes when you smile, sometimes you don't it's not always genuine. Sometimes there's always something hidden. And I think for me, when I ask someone, "Are you okay?" and then they smile, it's somehow a reflection of what they're actually feeling inside, unless they're very good at hiding it. So that's another part of Smile that I wanted to kind of incorporate as well, that it's gonna be okay no matter what.
Well, yeah, it does have that tune to it. How would you actually pitch this song to a person who doesn't really smile that much? If I ask, because we do encounter people, at least not every day, but some people that do have that negative outlook in life, or at least very pessimistic. If you were beside that person you're seeing, you know the background of what he or she is going through. How would you pitch them this song if they want to listen to it? Let's say.
Ooh.
I would first listen to them and thank them for if they're feeling down, and I would look at them, and if I'm very close to them, I would probably take action and take my phone, and I would tell them there's a song that I want you to listen. If you can listen to that with me. And if it's a person that I'm not very sure of, I probably would have to talk to them a bit more. But if it's someone I'm really close to, I would just let them listen to it with me. I'll be like, "Hi, I have a song that would be really fun to listen to at this point of time. You don't need to say anything. We don't need to talk. Just the song."
Yeah, so I think especially right now, because all of the weight of the world, or at least a lot of people have this insurmountable weight. Um, we don't know what they're actually going through, and it doesn't
Mhm.
really hurt or at least have that happy demeanor once in a while. So I'm really happy that I got to listen to this song because people knowing me that I'm a bit negative in life. Well, not really negative, but more of a realist. So I'm expecting the worst before the
Mhm.
best happens. And it's not every day that I get to listen to a very upbeat song. Sorry, audience, I'm really sorry. Something's blaring outside. I'm not sure what it is. Give me
It's
1 minute.
the, it's the extra sound effects. Definitely the extra sound
Yeah,
effects.
sorry for about that. Not exactly sure what's going on. Probably some sort of fire, but hope everyone's doing fine.
Hmm.
Give me just 10 seconds. About one, two, three, four. Okay, it's gone.
There we
Um,
go.
yeah, there we go. And were you always this happy, or at least are you always this optimistic when it comes to your career and life in general? Or were there any times in your life, or at least in this journey that you have right now in music, that you look at the mirror and say, "Can I still do this?
I think I'm a person who, for the most part, be very optimistic, but I do have times where I question myself, can I really do this? Is is this what I really want to do? And it comes down to a lot of self-reflection. I think I have a lot of that. So as much as I am very, very positive and I want to see the bright side of everything, I feel that even though I see good things and not so good things, I want to choose to see, or not even just to see, just to process the good things that make me happy, because life is so short, and I really want to do things that I would enjoy instead of questioning everything else. And in my experience in for the past few years and all that, my biggest learning is that once I'm comfortable with myself and once I know where I want to go and what I'm doing, it's not about why, it's just how to get there. Because I remember, I think it was Denzel Washington, he used to say, all the gifts, all the achievements that you have is all within you. You just need to do the work to get it. And I always keep that with me. And plus, with all the blessings that I've had, actually, Wakopa was also the experience that let me connect with my producer from the US. So he gave me a chance to have Confessions of Freedom and Smile to be shared to the world, because through that competition, he gave me a scholarship for me to produce my own songs. So I'm a very firm believer of really doing your best, and even though there's so many um, obstacles along the way, sometimes you gotta take a deep breath. You can let it out, but then once you're done, you gotta go again.
How how hard is it actually? Mm, Sorry, how hard is it for you to actually live up to the expectation that people set upon you, or at least your, let's say your parents have this some sort of expectation that, okay, next year you need to be a recording star, next year you need to achieve these amount of songs that you need to write. Is there
The funny
any?
thing,
Yeah.
it's
Sorry.
myself. My parents, I think, are the most laid back ones. I think I'm the person that always goes, yes, dream big. But expectations and reality, especially in getting things done, has always made me learn that I need to be more patient with myself, and I'm doing the right things. Because I'm always just like, why am I not? I'm at A. Why am I not at like C to D like right now when I'm trying to prepare for B? And my parents would probably be the ones like, you're fine, everything's okay, you're going the right track, and trying to fulfill that, or taking steps to fulfill that, I do need a lot of motivation, and what's what I find, and I find it through a lot of motivational videos. I read, I learn, and I pray. That's a lot of conditioning that I need to keep going, and it really helps, because what I want, my message as an artist is to be able to write and share songs and perform songs that are full of emotions that you can't express most of the time, because as a musician myself, we go through ups and downs, you know.
Mm.
nobody is Nobody's exempted from any trials or tribulations, and music has been such a great comfort for me. Like the songs that artists put out has helped me in a lot of dark times. So I would like to be able to do that as well. I would like to be able to have something in the world to comfort any listeners who've gone through the same thing as me, or something different, or has felt similar emotions as me.
Yeah, because being an artist, it actually gives you some sort of what do you call this, pressure in yourself to overachieve, or at least do something better as opposed to what you've done last year. So you won the WCOPA a few years ago. So what's the next step? Am I going to
Mhm.
go to an American Idol type of competition, or should I actually pursue this path with a producer when you already mentioned that you had a producer back then? Those decisions you need to actually sit down and weigh in what would be the best possible outcome between the two. So
Definitely.
yeah, I have a lot of respect for people actually chasing out for their dreams or doing everything they could do legally under to achieve whatever goals that they have. Okay. Let me just go back and backtrack a bit because this actually raised a bit of an interest because I myself wanted to study law for the longest time,
Mm-hmm.
and you were a law student in the UK, finished
Yes.
law,
Yes.
right?
I
And
graduated.
how 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 was it studying law in a foreign country?
It was fun. I actually started my law degree in Malaysia for about 2 years, and my final year was in the UK. So the studying law itself, it's very much a discipline. You when they tell you that you have to read a lot, you really have to read a lot. But it was so interesting because a lot of it applies to requirements for your daily life. And there were a lot of, although it was very theoretical, there were many instances where you had to put yourself in people's shoes and how you need to figure out how will the law help them to get this particular outcome. And based on past judgments or based on the laws that are on right now, how would they be able to get what they need? Because the laws are supposed to protect us, but if it's not used properly, it won't go to how we needed it to be.
Yeah.
And that was a very interesting aspect for me to learn. Learning law in the UK was great for the first 6 months, and then for the last 6 months, uh, lockdown happened, and it was not easy being in a foreign country and trying to finish your schooling.
So you finished your law degree just last year.
Yeah, it did.
Wow. So how did you cope up with that? I mean, getting locked down in a foreign country, that's not exactly a great thing. So how did you cope up with that when it did happen?
How did I cope up with it? It was a lot of support. I would call my parents at a specific time.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, were your parents with you? Are
No,
there
no,
okay?
they were here, and I would call them every night while they had dinner, and I would be having lunch because of time difference, and I would have study groups with my friends who were also my classmates who are also need someone to study with because it was not easy to study knowing that things were happening around you. So I really appreciated the support system that I had, even though I was home alone.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought you graduated around before everything that happened. So
No.
going through also that one, since you already graduated law, was there any desire for you to actually do that full time, being a lawyer, an attorney full time, or is music your main goal to begin with, as far as career is concerned?
Music has always been my main goal to begin with, but I wasn't really sure how I wanted to get there, whether I wanted to pursue a music degree. After Wakopa and after releasing a few of my songs, I felt that I really wanted to try and finish a degree. I really felt before I wanted to fully pursue my passions. I spoke with my parents about it, and we agreed that as after I finish my degree, then I feel like I'll be more confident in pursuing my passions. And after a lot of debate because I did finish a lot. I did take courses that I should be taking for an engineering degree, and I even had a placement if I wanted to go with my college, which was also a uni. And a lot of after a lot of debate, a lot of deliberation, law spoke out to me because it was something that I was interested in, but I wasn't sure if I was cut out for it. But finishing my degree, I think it's really whatever you put your mind to, and as long as you don't stop, you can achieve what you want to do.
What is the single most important thing that you realized when you were studying law?
That you must have an interest in it, in law itself. If you study it half-heartedly and if you study just to get through it, you won't enjoy and you'll suffer so much more. I do feel like in my classes and in my studies I did have a lot of challenges, but I think I found my passion in law and I found something that I enjoy with it. So it really helped me. That's the number one lesson that I've
Hmm.
got from law.
Are we also expecting some in law inspired songs in the future?
Ooh.
No.
I can think about it. I've not thought about it. This is new for me. So
Oh
I'll put it
yeah.
in the list.
You could actually look for inspiration,
Hmm.
probably the stuff close to home, as they say. Some experiences that you went through,
Hmm.
something written in the books, because
Hmm.
I think that's how most of the I know you also do as well. Most of the songwriters do. It's like a sudden burst of an idea. Okay, let me just write this one down. And it's either about spaceship experience that I have yesterday eating something, or even though
Hmm.
how funny it is.
Oh, but I did write something new when I was in law school. Like something new was inspired at a time when I first started uni, and that was in law school actually. Because after I finished high school, I took a 2 year gap year. Then I started my university, and in those 2 years, it was a life changing experience because I prepared for Wacopa and I released Confessions of Freedom and Smile around that time. And going back into studying and meeting new people in a educative environment where you see them all the time was really new for me, and something new kind of came around, kind of encapsulated my experience within my first year of uni.
Nice. Nice. On my end, a while ago, I did mention that I had the genuine interest in taking law school
Hmm.
before, and I'm still a big fan of probably watch Suits. I think you watch Suits.
Yeah,
I'm a big
Suits
fan of
was
Harvey Specter,
always
though.
mentioned in uni.
Yeah, and it's not realistic. A lot
No,
of yeah, but it's really fun watching that series
very true.
because you get to see or at least in a make believe world and how they handle cases and everything. And I built around my personality, or at least half of my personality, with Harvey
Mhm.
Specter's demeanor. So I'm a big fan of
Mm.
him, big fan of Dean Winchester, also Supernatural. So, but anyway, enough of that. But yeah, if anyone wants to contact you and have you an attorney, can they?
I'm a paralegal, so if
A
they
paralegal.
need
Okay.
things, need maybe just an insight or an overview, they could probably contact me.
Not advising anyone to do so, but she did say it live here. But also let's go ahead and see who's in the chat right now. You have some new people. Said indeed. Some. I think this is about Smile also.
Yes.
and Mina Mohandas, beautiful Nia. Dash again. Hello, fans. Someone out here in the Philippines, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Ganda mo daw, girl, and Michelle Peralta. All those hearts. Send all of your love to Veenea. If you haven't subscribed and also like page on Facebook and also on YouTube, go ahead and check it out. So we're going to play another song here. This is just a lyrical video, which is it sounds a bit because I wanted to see your interpretation on this one. But maybe in the future, once everything does settle down, we
Mm-hmm.
get something new. Yes, it's, so here's the song, and hope you guys enjoy it. And we are also going to break the song down afterwards.
I never thought you were so special. I didn't think we were meant to be. But when I saw you standing there today, my heart, it won't stop beating. I don't know why I was attracted to you. You blow my mind and I can't believe the truth. I hope this feeling isn't one-sided, 'cause I can't believe that I would feel like this to you. Will you make me feel that we could be something, oh, something new. What can I do to be closer to you? What can I say so you feel the same? All of these thoughts are running through my mind. You saw the time. I have my doubts, thinking, is this so true? Maybe I love the thought of you. I'm making sure I'm making the right decisions to like you. Will you make me feel that we could be something, oh, something new. Oh, something new. Oh, something new. All these movie scenes, these love stories, I knew and understood them, but it's different to experience whatever I am feeling. Boy, I ain't got time, got too much on my mind. What should I do to push this away? Gonna make me okay. I accept that you. Will you make me feel that we could be something, oh, something new? Hey, will you make me feel we could be something, oh, something new? We could be something, oh, something new.
Right, that was something new. I think this is the latest song that you have released this year, correct?
Yes,
This year,
it was
yeah,
released this July.
July. Yep. So I think this is a love song for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it was, I tasked myself around that time because I never wrote a love song, but I really wanted to try. I really wanted to test myself and be like, I want to write a love song. Let's try it. At first, it got really cringy. It got really cliche.
Because it's the first time you try doing it, and a lot of people are creating writing love songs. It's like, am I
Yeah.
going to fit in here? Is this the style that I want to do? All
Is
those
this gonna
questions.
work?
Yeah.
And I was at that time, even though I was in law school, I still liked songwriting.
So I have this habit of writing down the thoughts that I've been thinking when I'm maybe eating, when I'm doing something, and I'll be like, oh, this sounds really interesting. Let me write it down. So I was taking a break from studying, and my friends that I was talking to, they were talking about crushes, and they were talking about all of these things, and I just felt, oh, it's it's kind of new for me. This is something new. And as I listened to them, they just sounded so cute that I was just think I just had words coming out of my mind when I was listening to them. So I was like, oh yes, this is quite interesting. And I'm a person who likes to read a few comics, and inspired by that, I wanted to capture not just the feelings of being in love, but like the fact that when it hits you differently, when it hits you when you kind of least expect it and you don't want to think about it right now because that's not your priority. And in its sense, it kind of encapsulated myself and the emotions I felt as a person going through something like something new. So it doesn't really need to be about love, though the premise is about love. It could be some going on a new journey, going on a new path. You're scared, but you're excited, you're confused. And that's how something new kind of came together. It was really a lot of events that I summarized and made it into a song. So something new is so much fun for me,
Was
definitely.
there any sort of character study that you've gone through when you were actually writing this? Because the way I'm hearing it from you, you also base it in some comics that you've read. Am I right?
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
there any specific characters that you've seen now? This is the dynamic of this guy and also this girl, or was it
Oh,
just
I don't have names, but it was basically a story where a girl was liking someone for the first time, but she doesn't know what love is. I really can't remember her name. And she, instead of her doubting, like kind of the song encapsulates, she was very all for it. And she was like, yes, let me research this. So she'll start watching, she'll start reading watching movies, reading books
rom-coms?
about loves, yeah, rom coms. And there's this one part where she talks to someone, and she talks to the male lead, and something she says, "This is not like in the movies." And the lyric, all these movie scenes, these love stories, I knew and understood that. I was like, ah, that's that'll be something nice to write down.
Yeah, I think the initial feeling of being in love is actually it's really the same what you conveyed
Hmm.
in your song, but going forward with a relationship that takes a lot more than just being in love. Yeah. Just like
Definitely.
yeah, and having that base, like creating something new. That's always
Hmm.
something that we always, all of us, look forward to. Another
Hmm.
tough question here is: have you ever written a song about yourself? Or not yet. Your
I
experience.
This is the thing. I feel like each of my songs that I've written, although I've inspired by other people, I like to think that I imbued a bit of myself in all of them. There's a little bit of me in Confessions of Freedom. There's a little bit of me in Smile. There's also a little bit of me in Something New. Though I may not be the main character, there's
Yeah.
there's always something. Not only there's my touch, but there is a certain characteristic in the song that I put myself in. So you will always have a little bit of me in all of my songs. But I
Yeah.
think a song that really is about me, be in the character, I think would be my latest release.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. And we are going to play the teaser for that one in a few. But we do have a few more questions here, at least in my end. And also for the 13, 14, 15 people right now, thank you so much for tuning in my interview with Veenea. If you guys have any
questions. We would love to tackle them before we end the show, probably in a few. And yeah, so it's going back also on you being an artist. For what is the reality of being a songwriter for you? Because we see the documentaries of successful artists here, and even
Mhm.
bands. They have a very rough time, especially in the onset of their career. Right now, how hard is it for you to be that singer songwriter? Especially, I also raised this question. Especially, you did mention that you are a bit hard on yourself. You don't get to do something in a specific timeline. So, as of this time, what is the reality of being artist for you?
Being an artist right now is not very easy, especially when it comes to the pandemic. There are a lot of obstacles, and though it seems a lot of fun and it has a lot of I would say a lot of hype, if that's a word, if that's a good term to use.
Yeah.
It's it's a lot with preparation and execution, even as a singer songwriter. What I'm really happy about is that the songs that I wrote are, and what I've done, I feel like I've put my whole heart into it, and and that aspect of production is the most interesting part. Um, in promoting, in showing myself, because I you could say I could be a very shy person when you first meet me, and to be able to really showcase myself and who I am as a person, it will take a bit of time for me to warm up, but I think as I keep going on lives, as I keep doing shows, I get a little bit more confident every day, and I'm giving my sharing my experiences a little bit more, but it hasn't been easy. Um, but I think what I take home from this experience is to take it one step at a time.
Hmm.
When it comes to you, it comes. Because a lot of artists that I know, and also myself, you think that if you have a goal and you want to reach it at a certain time, you put everything that you can to do it. But sometimes you are not guaranteed that you're going to have it at at that specific time. It really goes to how much you can achieve, like how much opportunities that you can have in that specific time.
Have
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
one step at a time and be easy on yourself.
Have you ever felt demoralized about something that you didn't achieve, and how did you dealt with that feeling moving forward?
Ooh, I have an experience which I won't go into detail, but the premise is I prepared for an opportunity for myself. I checked all the boxes. I did everything that I could do. But at one point, because I didn't complete a specific requirement that is needed from me, I wasn't able to get that opportunity. And sometimes when you prepare something, it takes months. It takes a lot of conditioning. It takes a lot of preparation to see yourself through, and to be able to not get that was left me very dejected and very demoralized.
How did you cope up with that feeling that you had for that specific thing that happened to you? Did you dwell on it for about, let's say, about a week or even just a day, and then you just try to move forward with your plans?
Ooh, I think it depends on a lot of people, but I'm a person that it will dwell with me for a while, but it's not I try not to let it take over my whole day. If I don't take care of myself properly, it will probably drag
Yes.
on for
Yeah, it will drag
days.
on.
But what I'd like to condition myself and through my support here is to really kind of talk yourself out of it and really push yourself to your goals and why you want to do this in the first place, because your no's and your rejections are so much smaller than the bigger picture, than your dreams and why you want to do this in the first place. And at some point, you accept that things are going to happen. You just got to
Hmm.
keep going. And yeah, there are going to be times where it hits you, these events that happen to you, but as long as you see why are you doing this in the first place, why do you want to go towards your path, the experiences and what you feel become a lot smaller, and you feel more open to having more blessings in your life.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because if you let a specific roadblock hinder you going forward, that would also be a test of your what do you call this your resilience as not just an artist but as a person in general.
Definitely.
So the amount of hardship and also trials that will be thrown to you will be a test of who you are going to be in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that would also be another test for you if this hobby is this career or anything that involves you, if you're fit for it.
Yeah.
Because if you really dwell into it and not getting pros out of a specific bad situation,
Mhm.
you're bound to repeat that same mistake over and over again. Sorry to
Very
say.
true.
So yeah, um, if I was a singer and I also saw that your track record in having these sorts of accomplishments, and I'll be asking you, Venia, what would be the single best advice you are going to give a person who would like to be a singer or a songwriter like you?
Ooh. I think the single advice that I would like to give would be something that my dad would like to tell me every time that I am visibly feeling down. I would summarize what he said, but he would tell me, Venia, what you're doing, the path going upon your dreams, is like entering the arena. You're gonna have yourself kicked. You're gonna go through things that you don't usually do, and you're gonna be faced, your back against the wall, and sometimes you may not have the strength to get up. But the strongest warriors in the arena are the people who don't give up, and the people who keep fighting for what they want, because the obstacles that they want, that they are experiencing, are so much smaller than the dreams that they have. That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's some solid advice. Again, as I said a while ago, there's no one going to help you besides yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically through not just for the artist side, but in life in general. Because if you give up on yourself, you're always going to be giving up all of the opportunity that comes across you.
That's very
And
true.
it's really sad because there are a lot of great bands and also great acts in the past few years, even let's say what do you call this? Past few years that just gave up because of the lack of support.
Yeah.
Even because people know me, I'm in a band. Even if I
Mm-hmm.
was in a cover band, we do play a lot of technical stuff. So it does become a bit stale at times because we
Mm-hmm.
do play the same covers over and over again. But for some reason, once I hit the stage, I just get very energized to play the songs.
That's very
Everything,
true.
everything just goes away. I'm not even seeing the people in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and I just enjoy playing. I just enjoy performing in the moment, and it shows in our performances. And I also watch some of yours. The
Mm-hmm.
infectious energy that the performer has, most of the time, it really resonates with the crowd, and that also goes back to you, inspiring how people do appreciate me as an artist. People do love, or this is for that few 5-10 minutes set that you have two, three, four, five songs that you have, they appreciate the level of artistry that you present to them. Also, you don't even know if these people have something going on in their life and they decide to have a more positive outlook, and
Very
you
true.
affect them in a more positive way. Because I've
Mm-hmm.
heard of stories of people going to concerts that this should be the last day that I'm here, and contemplating to, can't say it right now over stream because I don't like to be cut over life, but yeah, if you know what I mean. And then they decide not to go through that because I heard Veenea song.
Mm-hmm.
I This actually inspired me. There's a lot more to life than just the failures that I have currently, and that's actually one of the most powerful things that music has over us. So the power to inspire, the power to even alter decisions when you hear something, the power to give yourself a second chance just understanding a song lyrics.
Definitely.
I
And a
think
lot of the power to address emotions that you can somehow you can't pick up on your own as
mhm.
well.
And
Sometimes when you
that's the
listen,
part that you
sorry.
come in. That's the part
Mm-hmm.
that the artist comes in, or whatever the person is listening to.
Yeah.
They some sort they look for some sort, or these people look for some sort of an escape, or they someone to understand with. And
Yeah.
even though the artist is not with you, you get to hear their song and also understand the lyrics. That, oh yeah, this is the same thing I'm going
Mm-hmm.
through. Yeah, I think that's basically most of the questions that I have today. But I just like to dive into this idea that you've been doing recently with your, I think it's couch sessions.
Yes.
So,
Couch session.
how did this start for you? Was this an sporadic idea that you have one day, or is it actually something that you really wanted to do even back then?
When I was studying in law school, I always wanted to find ways to sing and to pursue my passions while studying. And booting I tried making a session where I could just sing random songs and post them on YouTube, and it was more like a self satisfaction thing where my friends could watch it, and they'll give me requests of any songs, and I wanted to sit down and be comfortable while singing, so I called them couch sessions. And in 2019, I posted one of my covers. I think it was "Needy" by Ariana Grande, and I posted it and I said, "Oh, we're gonna do this every week," but I never did because school school really overtook me. And after I finished my degree last year, I came back home and I told my parents, I was like, "I'm done. I really really want to pursue music." That I was thinking of a way to slowly ease myself in because I haven't done this in a while. So I thought about couch sessions, and I remember someone saying like it's really fun to listen to other people make covers. So I made a decision. I told my mom, my dad, and my brother, who's actually helping me with some of the couch sessions itself. I want to make videos every week, and I'm gonna call them couch sessions again, and we're gonna do songs that covers that I've always wanted to sing throughout the years, or requests that people have, and it just became this weekly content on YouTube, and it was just so much fun. It was really interesting to learn the song, to put my own twist into it, and it really fun watching it as it goes up on YouTube.
Sorry, cough there. But are you also still going to maintain this sort of content that you've been doing for couch sessions even after the pandemic ends? Or
I
are
would
we
like
expect?
to. I would like to. I think maybe if it's not And now my couch sessions are once every 2 weeks. But once I
Mm.
get a lot busier, I do want to still have couch sessions as a week as a content, but maybe it won't be every week. It might be every 2 weeks, every month. I would like to keep it as long as I can because it's supposed to be a way to kind of help me have relax, have fun, and also to showcase my talent.
Yeah, because I'm expecting once everything at least goes back to some sort of normalcy, you might be going forward with live shows
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. And yeah, there's a lot of content here. If you guys would like to visit um her YouTube channel, there's tons of stuff you probably enjoy listening to. Covers and also the first three singles that she has, and some interviews also. Recent interview within the TV live. So I think that's most of what I wanted to ask from you. So we are going to play the teaser for her upcoming single. So there's nothing much here except for an invitation from her. But let's go ahead and play it nonetheless, and then I'm we might discuss a few bits and pieces about the upcoming single, but not in its entirety because you do respect the fact that this is still coming out on the 29th. It's better for people to actually experience it first and then ask questions later once the product has been served to them. So here is the invitation to her next single, coming out again on October 29th.
Sweetie, why are you not sleeping? It's so late.
I can't sleep, ma.
What's wrong? What's in your mind?
I don't know, ma. There's so many things happening. I don't know what to do.
It's okay, sweetie. What you cannot accomplish today, you can do it tomorrow. With every experience you have, you change.
I'm changing for good.
For good.
But basically, that was an invitation, and also you could look it up on her page and Facebook. I think she's also going to. You're going to post more details if possible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Once it gets released.
Okay. And can you give us a brief overview on what the song is? Not entirely, but what would this be based? Is it going to be based on your life, as you said earlier, or is it based on a totally different thing as far as concept is concerned?
This song was a song about how I think about self growth.
Mm.
That's the best way to term it. Well, while Confessions of Freedom was self discovery, this was more about self growth. This was also written at the time when I was in law school and I was in the heat of everything. Everything was very overwhelming. And it went to a point where I would be studying and it would be 2 in the morning. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do at that point of time when everything's so overwhelming. So I wrote this song down and I managed to get some sleep after that.
So that conversation with your mom really did happen.
Mm-hmm. It really
Okay.
did.
I'm not gonna prod through more information because, as I said a while ago, it's better for people to actually experience the song first before you ask questions. And um, yeah, so I think we've reached almost the end. So let's go ahead and run through some information and also no, actually, I have a few more questions not relating to music. So let's do that in a few. But there's a question here for you. Yeah, so do you have a favorite performance that you done or you did in the past? I'm betting this would be in the competition that you're in. If I was to
Oh,
answer, or probably different.
In the competition, my favorite performance would be in the finals. In the finals for my competition, I performed "Girl on Fire," and the energy that I received from that, I think it's up. I think it's up on YouTube. The energy, the performance itself, was amazing. It was one of my favorites, though it was just a minute. It's something that I can never forget.
How many people are actually watching the finals, if you could remember?
It was sold out, but you know when the lights are so bright,
Mm.
you can't really tell how many people were there, but there were just a lot of people.
Yeah. But, do you remember who were the judges there? There any big namers in the crowd during that time?
They were industry, they were more industry people, so they were
Mm.
more like producers and casts. So I can not think of a specific name, but
Mm.
it was a very experienced panel. Definitely experienced in the music industry.
Okay. And let me just prod into the more. Was there a time also that you're thinking now I might not make it into the finals just because of the amount of competition that I have? Or did that idea cross your mind while you were there?
Yes, yes. When I was in the semifinal, when I was selected in the semifinals, I was so nervous because I didn't think I would be in the semifinals. I would tell my mom before the competition, like, yeah, I'm gonna
Mm.
win this. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna take it all. But when you're there and when you've gone to the next round, you just have that sigh of relief in yourself. You're like, whew, we got it. We made it to the next part. But in the semifinals, I made a mistake. I wasn't
Oh.
sure if it was translated to the audience, but I myself knew I made a mistake. And after my performance, I was so down. I really thought, like, Mom, I'm not gonna make it, because my mom was the only person with me as my support in Long Beach, and she's sitting there saying, "He's gonna be fine. You don't know until
Try.
they say all the names.
Yeah.
You won't know if you're selected into the finals unless they don't say your name." So when the finals came, I had to wait a long time because you had to go through all the talents, and it was very nerve wracking because I wasn't sure if I would get in or not. But at the end, before they finished everyone's names for the vocal categories, I think because my first name starts with a V, so they probably went alphabetically,
Mm, yeah.
and they were like, from this vocal
Fun.
category, Veenea. And I was like, oh,
And what did you feel when do you remember the feeling when you won the competition?
when I won my medals. And
Yeah.
oh, I don't
How
know.
impactful for how did it impact you as a person when you won or when you won those medals at the time?
It was a very humbling experience, but I think from the most part, it just made me realize that it confirmed this fact that everything that I worked hard for 8 months after when I once I decided to join this competition has it worked. Everything I've achieved from all that preparation is here.
Hmm.
But I really, but you couldn't. I couldn't really feel so elated because I was so shocked. I think, like, because for my age category, they would do all the genres and all the categories together. So once they started calling my name, they wouldn't stop until one of my teammates made a joke. You know what? You just stay there. They're gonna
Oh,
say your
so this
name
is a team
anyway.
effort also? You have a team on this one?
Because it's a
Uh,
talent Olympics, right?
yeah.
So you go by nations.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
in different
remember.
categories.
I was
So
thinking
my
like you have a team of other singers there like, no, no, it's not like
No,
that.
no,
We
no.
have
I was
team.
solo performance, but I
Mhm.
had people around me, because we were all in nations. So they said, you should just stay there so that you can keep collecting all your medals, and then once you're done, you can come down. But it was a joke. I didn't know how to feel about any of this until a couple months after, when I had to self reflect of what happened for me. I think it was more of adrenaline. It was really more of adrenaline.
Mhm. Who convinced you in participating in the competition in the first place? Was it you yourself based on research, or some friends informed you about the competition? Your family decided to, oh yeah, why don't try this?
It was actually my music teacher who suggested me this competition, because after I finished my studies, I wanted to go back to having music lessons to start singing again. And my music teacher said, there's this competition that's really, that would really open your horizons, to start something different and start something fresh. And after a lot of deliberation with my family and myself, I thought it would be a really good opportunity, a really good platform for me to showcase who I am and to see where I can go. Because it's a clean slate.
Mm.
You don't know what's gonna happen. So I just really wanted to see how far I can go in this competition.
It's probably one of the best decisions you have in your life so far.
Definitely so
Yeah.
far.
What did your teacher tell you after the competition when you won? See, I told you. And did they tell
She
you
was
like
like,
that?
"Good job, you did well."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "This really helped you. You did well."
Oh yeah, it definitely helps, especially being on the, I could say, some sort of world stage at that point, because you have other nations watching, and a lot of
Hmm.
executive producers within the industry scouting for talents, and probably all other artists as well. And are you still connected with that certain producer that you said a while ago?
Yes, yes.
Mm,
Um, I'm I'm still connected with my producer, and I've been working with him on these next few songs as well that I'm releasing.
okay, I know it is should be a brief welcoming for your upcoming single, but are we expecting an album sometime in the future or not
That
yet?
would be a goal, but we have yet to take action on
A
it.
lot of decisions we need to be made in that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of preparation as well. But for now, I'm really happy that I get to have the chance to release my singles, release all these songs, and I'm really looking forward to making more and doing more. So
Hmm.
I assure you that I really don't want to. I'm not going to stop here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't stop, never stop until you reach
Hmm.
that goal. Unless there's always a caveat here as far as artists are concerned. I know Veenea would understand because I've felt it myself. There comes a time that if someone gets too burnt out, that they need to take a rest for about a month or two, and that actually sometimes it either becomes beneficial to you as a person, but sometimes
Hmm.
it also affects your brand because you've been out for a month, and even just not uploading for a week, it does affect the reach that you have. So I do hope that this would be a once a year single comes out. It's still going to be uphill for you going forward because
Hmm.
expecting great things
Thank
based
you.
on not just the accomplishments but also the music that you're showing us via YouTube and your Facebook and songs. And I can't wait for you to have or your own album probably sometime in the future.
Thank you so
So I
much.
think on the
I really
music side,
appreciate it.
we yeah no, thank you also for being here. But let's take probably a couple of minutes more, and this will be probably the final segment that we have. Uh, well, we're in time. On time right now. So, uh, besides you being the artist that we know, singer and also songwriter, do you have any other hobbies or interests that you do outside music as well?
I'd say music. I love to watch movies with my family. I
Hmm.
think other than listening to music, we like watching movies together, which is pretty fun. And I with my friends, one way that we bond together is to play games because some of my closest friends they are quite they're geographically far away from me. So a really fun way for us to bond is when we play games together.
I'm just a bit curious of what kind of movies you guys are into, because I think you already know what I do here on the channel, and I do a lot of long form discussions with people on movies they either love or hate, and maybe we could do something in the near future. So I have to narrow down the schedule. But yeah, going back to the question, what kind of genre do you guys enjoy watching? Is there a specific film or a specific genre of movies you guys dwell into?
I think what we dive into would be any movie that would interest us. Sometimes we would go for English movies. Sometimes it would be an English blockbuster film, or it would be a foreign film, like it could be like a Bollywood movie, or it could be something else. It really depends on what we're going for at that time. Sometimes it'll be thrillers, sometimes it'll be rom coms, or sometimes it'll be just movies with deep morals. It really depends on the how we feel at that time.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really funny because people know me for being a more of a horror genre enthusiast.
Oh,
And what is my what is top three best movies that I've watched in my lifetime? Only one of those three is actually a horror film.
oh wow.
Yeah, because number three would be well, let's say not in any particular order. The Dark
Hmm.
Knight is there, obviously. Been big Batman fan ever since. Big superhero fan. No, not really, not particularly superhero, but the Batman fan ever since I was young. So that probably is number three or number two. The second one is a horror film. It's The Thing, 1982, with Kurt Russell. If you haven't watched that, or anyone else who haven't watched that, I would suggest watching it, especially right now. It's a 1982 film directed by John Carpenter. It still has one of the best practical effects, even up to today's standard. It does blow a lot of CGI effects out of the water. Not the new thing, but the old thing, the John Carpenter's thing. And you would be surprised that my number one is actually a um, a drama movie.
Oh,
It's Christopher Reeve and also Jane Seymour's Somewhere in Time.
oh, somewhere in time. I have not
You,
watched.
you should watch that movie. It's basically one of the pioneering movies in time traveling, romantic time traveling is concerned. So it's a bit close if you've watched The Time Traveler's Wife.
Yes.
Some of the elements of Somewhere in Time is there. It's basically, the premise is let's say I'm the main character. I met someone at a party, probably 70 or 80 years old, and then that person gives me a watch telling me, meet me someday. Go, and then the protagonist goes into a roller coaster of investigations and research on why this person actually knows. And
Wow.
even talking to a professor, he talked to a
Mm-hmm.
professor that they considered as like a conspiracy theorist, that you could actually go ahead and manipulate time, do time travel back in the day. It is a very good premise, but the ending is very sad, let's say.
Oh no.
Maybe something that you would want to watch if you like to um, write another love song, because at this Stage and Time, not a lot of people know this movie for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
They know Christopher Reeve as probably the most famous Batman. I'm sorry, Superman after Henry Cavill. So that would be also one of my recommendations. So for people, since you're also a movie junkie, what
Mm-hmm.
would you what would you advise people to watch, or at least what would be your reference to people to watch this weekend? Give them ideas.
Ooh, I'm trying to think what's a really good movie to watch.
Doesn't
Mm,
matter if it's new or old.
doesn't matter if it's new or old.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Since we're talking about time, I I
In time.
really like In Time. In
Oh yeah,
Time
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. Me too. I love In Time.
a great movie to try and watch.
One thing that one thing the only thing that I have criticism for that is I didn't really like Justin Timberlake's voice for some
That's
reason.
true.
It sounds very puny for a guy. Like what? But the character is good. Both of them.
Hmm.
I forgot the name of the woman or the girl that
Oh,
she's
Amanda
Amanda
Seyfried.
Seyfried. Yeah, it does have a very good story.
It does.
To be honest with you, but there's some funny scenes there, like when you get to see his mother, like his mother's like around
Mhm.
40 years old and he's already 25,
Yeah.
and knowing that his mother's around 60 at the time, like it doesn't match the appearance doesn't match the age. Also, when he gets to meet the girl's family, that was a bit of
Yes.
a mind f. Uh, Everyone looks the same age.
Everyone
No
looks
one
so
age.
young.
Yeah, no one ages normally. I'm not even sure if they explained that in the movie. What we only knew in the movie is that there is a certain point in time that the clock just ticks out of nowhere, like around 15 years old, and then the clock just
Yeah,
runs like,
I
oh
think you
yeah.
can buy youth with your hours. That's why they could maintain their beauty. I think.
But you could still die of natural like say if you
Yeah,
get sick, if you get bumped by a car, shot in the head, you still die for some reason, but it doesn't line up. But it's really funny that you could buy youth also,
hmm,
not just years.
that's true.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Anything else that you'd like to recommend?
In terms of time, there's In Time, but there's also another movie. I can't remember. I think it's called About Time. It's the one with Rachel McAdams. I'm just going with rom comedies. Romantic.
Mm.
Oh, is it a romantic comedy? Yes, it's a romantic comedy drama film, and it's by Dom Hall Gleason and Rachel McAdams, and that one's really cool too. So it's basically the male protagonist has a specific power that he can turn back time to pursue the female protagonist. And it's very cute on how they manage to get together as well.
That sounds a bit irresponsible. Like you have that
Yeah,
sort of power, and then just like to chase around a girl in time. Like
but
what?
the movie's really cute though. I
Yeah,
think you have to try it first.
I'm no. I mean just going by the optics there, since you did mention, and I have
Mhm.
it here in the other screen, and it does have a lot of good reviews in it. About 89% people loved it, so that's high praise. It also has Margot Robbie. For some
Yes,
reason, yeah,
Margot Robbie.
I might as well check this one out. I think the last romantic comedy that I've watched, also probably one of the top five. Again, not a horror film for some reason.
Hmm.
Is Serendipity, another time related romantic comedy featuring Kate
Ooh.
Beckinsale, and also I forgot the lead's name, but yeah, you haven't watched that Serendipity.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I watched Serendipity.
It's with John Cusack.
Oh, I feel like I have. It's a like the early 2000s, right?
2001. It does have one of the best soundtracks in the movie.
Oh, I think I
It,
have. But
it,
it's those movies that you need to watch them again.
oh yeah, you should definitely watch it again. It does have the version of female version of "Waiting in Vain" with Annie Lennox.
Hmm.
Uh, I I have that song in my iPhone.
Ooh.
Me being in a metal band, and when you look at my iPhone, I have some questionable songs there, not related to the genre I'm playing with. But yeah, I would also recommend Serendipity, especially for people just wanting something to enjoy. Also, The Terminal, another good romantic comedy movie. I'm not even suggesting any horror movies. You see, it's like yeah, but anyway, okay, so yeah, that would be our recommendations for people. I just like to ask also, you did mention gaming. What kinds of games are you into regularly right now?
It's really role playing games, but the games that I play with my friends,
Hmm.
it's so simple. It's Animal Crossing. That's it.
I haven't played that game for some reasons. Like
it's
I don't know if I do have reservations on it with it, or maybe I don't like the premise of it. um, yeah. Why
they
do
do
you
make
love
you work.
y- Okay.
Oh, basically, Animal Crossing is a game that you design your own island, but you have to go through um kind of like real life scenarios where you get to an island and then you have to slowly learn how to the schematics of the game, and then you have to be in debt so that you can get a house, and then through many things you can get furniture, you can buy stuff, and you can slowly start customizing your island to your taste. And the amount of customization you can do is a lot. And for me, I personally like playing it because I can also interact with my friends. So when I play Animal Crossing, no matter how where they are geographically, they can come to my island and we could just kind of like play games and hang out and talk about how we designed these things. And I could go to theirs and we could just kind of like give each other gifts and just talk while we're playing. It's a really just a medium to bond and
Mhm.
to spend some time.
Yeah, I'm sort of a gaming enthusiast myself, but
Hmm.
for some reason I'm not up to date with the current generation of games. I tend to be into the retro. Funny, I
Hmm.
say retro right now. PlayStation 3 is already retro right now, and also PlayStation 2, which had the best games of all time.
Agreed.
Yeah, I played a lot of games also, mostly survival horror. Again, me with the horror stuff for some reason, and I'm not even recommending any horror except for the thing. But yeah, so I think that's basically it. That's the entire interview, ladies and gentlemen. And before we go though, Nia, is there anything else you'd like to tell your fans and also friends? Are there anything going on for you this upcoming week? Except we do know the single's coming out next week. So anything else going on for you?
For me next week, for my wonderful fans who are here in this live, thank you so much for listening to me and hanging out with us with JM for the 0 hour discussions. I hope you enjoyed the stories that I shared and also the conversations that we had, the take homes, and the new music that is coming out next week. If you are a new viewer who is watching me, hi, my name is Veenea. I'm a singer songwriter. I hope you enjoyed all the stories. And if you want to get to know me a little bit more, I have my social medias as my name, Veenea. That is, you could just literally Google me on YouTube, on Google, and you can find me. I have a YouTube channel that you can see my content of covers of songs that I upload used to be every week, now it's every 2 weeks. I have a Facebook page. I have a website called venia.com.
I have my Instagram, my TikTok, which you can find me under Veenea. That's how unique my name is. And I would love to get to know you, so please do drop by and say hi in any way. And I would love to get to know you and to talk more. Anything for next week is basically the countdown for changing, and maybe we'll have something. We're not sure yet, but we'll just stay tuned and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the single that you're going to release, which is entitled "Changing," correct?
Yep, it's called
Yeah.
changing.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and also read some love from your audience here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. That's
Oh,
Momo-chan. That's my girl right there.
thank you, Moo-chan.
Yeah, Chan. So a lot of hearts being sent out to you. A lot of love also. That's good. You
Marissa.
guys don't have any idea how important the artist actually receives all of these love that you're sending out. It gives them more fuel to the tank, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's see. Lenny Nair said, "Congratulations, both. Interesting discussion. Actually, we might do another discussion sometime in the future.
Oh,
It's just a matter of time and also what we would like to discuss. Probably discuss
mm-hmm.
the upcoming song sometime soon. Because I, as I said a while ago, I had some questions regarding it, but I decided not to push through because out of respect for the artist, because it's better to have it posted first, the product posted first, and you guys experience the song, and then we will ask questions after, which is the usual thing that we should do when a single is launched. Yes, people are go, Veen.
Hi, Bonds.
All the best.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Oh, your dad's here.
That's my dad.
Nice, very supportive people. Thank you so much. All of the 15 to 20 people who hang out with us today. I would like to thank you for being here. Show your support again to Veenea. Go to her pages in your Facebook. It's easy. Just look up her name in the search bar. Immediately, you would see her socials there. And there's nothing I'm about to play right now, but I am going to replay um, Smile just because people really need something happy to go on right in today. And for me, this week I really don't. Oh yeah, I have a stream tomorrow. If you guys are interested in any Resident Evil content, tomorrow will be a Resident Evil day again for me. I'll be inviting another pop star, local pop star here, Chindetera, if you guys know. She and I, and also another gaming content creator, will be discussing the recent Resident Evil Infinite Darkness animation series. Again, this could probably be a recommendation if you haven't watched it. It's kind of good. It's just 20 minutes per episode, and it's just 4 episodes. So I'm not
Mm.
sure what Netflix did there. It could have been just one entire movie. Yeah, we're going to discuss that on Friday next week. It's going to be a very political discussion because we are going to discuss a John Carpenter movie entitled "They Live" with a panel. Some musicians will be there, gaming content creators, and also a social commentary creator will be there on Friday. And I think just that's just about it for me this month. I do wish everyone who's watching right now to be safe. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, find a reason to smile, and look for something new. Quote
Yes,
songs
yes.
from here. And
Me too.
confess your freedom again. I'm just promoting her songs right now, but we are going to play Smile right now, and do enjoy your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is JM from Zero Hour Discussions with Veenea. Hope you guys enjoy. Take care.
You tweeted, please help me, but you need to ask. You want to run away, why you acting so fast? You said you're alone, so who in the world am I? what's wrong with liking things in the past. 'Cause I don't like to see that look on you. Honey, can't you see? Please look at me and smile for me, baby. That's what you need to do. Just smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile, yeah. Do I need to run 1,000 miles and trip at the end to make you crack a smile? I need to know how to light up your day and make sure you're doing okay. 'Cause I don't like to see that look on you. Honey, can't you see what it means to me when you smile for me, baby? That's what you need to do. Just smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile, yeah. Don't push yourself away, I'm right here. Those things in your head are not real. Life is simple, take it easy, so look at me. Honey, look at me and smile for me, baby. That's what you need to do. Smile for me, baby. I need to see the truth. When you smile for me, baby, turn that frown upside down. You're beautiful when you smile, baby. Oh, you're beautiful when you smile. So smile for me, baby. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile. You're beautiful when you smile. Smile.